Oh hey YouTube, what's happening? You're at the We All Juggle Knives channel, and welcome to another episode of Knife Vlog. Hey, why are you inside? You should be outside chopping wood and testing stuff. Well, for one thing, it's the middle of the night, and for another thing, I have a weather update for the Northeast. Let me roll in that footage. I think you'll see what's going on. Here's the footage. It's snowing, YouTube! It's snowing a lot. This is a Olight flashlight I'm using to light your view. Yeah, check that out. And it's not going to stop anytime soon. Not going to stop anytime soon. Yeah, it's really coming down out there, but that's a perfect opportunity to film a knife vlog. Oh, by the way, this piece of cardboard that I use as my backdrop sometimes, this was actually part of a package that I received. Well, the packaging of the package. Adult supervision required. Use caution. Scissors are sharp. Oh man, have we degenerated this far that now scissors are possible weapons of mass destruction? You better be careful. You might accidentally sever your own head with your scissors of death. And now I have that there because, well, I have that there sarcastically. Sarcasm is my type of humor, and I have a feeling that many of you are also sarcastic bastards, so we should all band together and just take over. So what you have there, these are three of my favorite patterns for classic knives, traditional slip joints. You got two trappers there, you have a Sod-Buster, and you have a Congress. Now, because I am talking about slip joints, I gotta talk to some of you specifically. You right there. Guy with 20 different tactical knives that are all from cold steel. And you right there, guy who has a collection of 20 karambits. You might not really like slip joints that much, but don't turn off the video because look, you can't always carry your Giganto knife of death. You can't always carry this everywhere. Or can you? Who's gonna stop you? No, just kidding. No, there are some times where a slip joint, more people friendly, and also, you know, a small sharp knife might just be more useful than your freaking whatever. No, you should all buy this. You need this, come on. It's utility. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, give slip joints a chance, man. Now you see that case trapper, two blades. Now most trapper patterns do have two blades, but I have seen up to 5 blades on a trapper. Right, you see it's got a clip point and what they call a spay blade. Now, that spay blade, that's originally its purpose was castration. And you know, I've castrated a few things with it. No, just kidding. I have not. In modern times, or, well, recent times, the spay blade's most common use is just for skinning. It's called a trapper because it's traditionally been a very useful knife for people that do hunting and trapping. Now that knife right there is one of my favorite variations of a classic trapper. That's a razor trapper. So named because you see the second blade, the shape resembles an old-timey straight razor. Right, now as far as I know, Case does not currently make a razor trapper, so that's actually a Rough Rider razor trapper. Rough Rider, a budget brand, but you know, very affordable. You will have to sharpen it up a bit, but once you sharpen it, it takes an edge, a very sharp edge, very easily. All right, because the steel is a little bit soft. But yeah, that does have its benefits. Next up, the Sod-Buster. Now this is more of a collectible one because, well, this is no longer made, but Case makes some beautiful stuff. This is, I believe that's their Mediterranean color, and it's you know, it's got the Damascus. Now the reason I have this was because back in the day I just found it for such a good price I really couldn't pass it up. So beautiful example of a collectible Sod-Buster, but most Sod-Busters are actually workhorses, right? Because it's a very minimalist design, it's very simple. So there's not much that can go wrong with a Sod-Buster. And it's just a knife kind of reduced to, like, let me fix my lights there, to the bare essence, right? If you're not allowed to have a lock on your knife somewhere, some horrible police state that's banned locks, you can have the Sod-Buster. And of course, it's just there's just so much history behind these older designs. I mean, they may be old designs, but they're time tested. All right, another beautiful knife. Now this is a Boker made in Germany, right? Boker with the tree logo. This is a Congress, and this is also a Carver or a Whittler Congress. And you see that logo on the largest blade. Yeah, Boker tree brand. That is a mark of quality. And again, you see the spay blade there. And note the two smaller blades. Those are specifically, they allow you to get more detail in carving, wood carving and whittling. Right, you see that? That one blade, it's like a penknife blade, but if you were to compare it to, let's say, a Victorinox penknife blade, you see the tip is ever so slightly forward of the center line, and that is a benefit when whittling. Now you know this particular one has, all four blades are different, right? So they're each slightly better for different types of cutting, different tasks. Now some Congress designs will give you two identical large blades and two identical small blades, but I really like this one with the four different blade shapes. It really gives you a lot of flexibility and advantages in different cutting tasks. And here's a close-up of that other Case knife. I have to say, Case, American company, they've really done a lot to keep interest alive in these classic patterns or to renew interest, because their stuff is not excessively expensive, but it is definitely collector quality, gift quality. I mean, they make some beautiful stuff. I will include links to an array of different slip joints, a lot of Case stuff. They have so many different options for the Sod-Busters and the Trappers. But yeah, check out those Amazon links. I think you'll enjoy them. Now I want to try to help people out, especially if you're on a budget. That knife there is called the Marttiini Folding Handy. You know, one of the most common questions on here, what's a good folder for $30 or less? That is one of, many options, but that's a particularly good option. All right, Marttiini is a company in Finland. I really like the price, but I also like what a clean design this is. Very good fit and finish on this, much better than most knives in this price range. All right, now that is aluminum. It's open pillar. It's got a thumb stud. It locks up very securely. You can hear that. It's a liner lock. It's got a mirror finish. Hard to see, but yeah, it's got a mirror finish. The blade length is about 3 1/4 inches. All right, so you can see that edge bevel there. I want you to know what you're getting. Yes, this does have a pronounced edge bevel, but it comes very sharp, and overall, I think it's one of the best you can get for $30. Now the steel on this knife is 420 stainless, and I don't think that was even listed in the Amazon listing, but it is 420 stainless. Not bad for this price. I will include an Amazon link for that knife if you want to pick one up, maybe for a gift. Christmas is coming up. By my count, there's only 10 stores on Amazon that have those in stock. Now 10 stores for the entire United States, that's not very many. So apologies if that were to sell out or if the price were to go up. Alright, so check out those links for those too. You'll probably find something you like. Alright, on to Buck. Buck has been taking definitely a lot of heat, a lot of flack, a lot of hate lately on the internet, on YouTube. I've seen several videos now detailing problems with the Buck Slim Pro 112. Now that is the smaller version of this knife. This is the Slim Pro 110, but a lot of the problems with the 112 also apply to the 110. So one thing that people are really not liking is the tip redesign, right? This is the old tip, and this is the new. You see that? People are not liking the new design. And I have to agree with them because the old design is actually a little bit superior for the original use of the knife, which was a hunting folder or a skinning folder. So yeah, people are not liking that they messed with the blade shape like that. Another issue has been the pocket clip. You see how wide they made it there. Back in the day, their pocket clips was like this, right? Or like this, it's just simple, it's not overstated. And now they have to put that big cutout there. I think it's kind of ugly. Like you see this small emblem here. I think it's classy. It's not overdone. I'd much rather have them putting their logo like that than the cutout. And another problem is the use of rivets. I've definitely seen a lot of people that don't like that. Look how jagged that is. Right? Every other company, it seems, gives you an adjustable pivot screw, and Buck gives you rivets, and the rivets have led to other problems. For example, you see that gap right there? Noticeable gap. Now if I press down, there's no gap, right? So that rivet is actually not doing its job very well. And you see how that doesn't line up over there. And again, that's from the rivet that's not, that's creating that little gap. And it's also, not holding the blade over a little bit. Right? And this also leads to some really bad centering issues. You see the centering, or lack thereof, it's way over to this way. And I've seen videos where it was so bad that the blade was actually cutting into the handle because it was so off center. Right? So definitely those are what's called QC issues, which is quality control. Right? Some major QC issues. So yeah, if you start seeing more like hate comments against Buck, I saw at least 3 hate comments, not against me, well, we're cool, but against Buck on my last video where I showed this. And then I looked up some more videos, and yeah, there were some negative videos and even more hate comments. So yeah, if you're wondering, hey, why are people being mean to Buck? There are valid reasons that I just went over. Now those QC issues have actually been plaguing Buck for a number of years now. That knife right there is the Vantage Pro Avid in Sandvik steel. That's no longer made. I purchased that knife 5 years ago, and even back then, before I purchased it, I looked into all the reviews, and there were multiple quality control issues. And even before I purchased it, I said to myself, I'm taking a risk. This is risky buying this. I read the Amazon reviews, and yeah, so that was 5 years ago, and the QC issues are still plaguing Buck. The only reason I bought that was because of the steel. It's actually the Sandvik steel version of that knife, which is their Vantage Pro. Now speaking of this knife, I used to recommend this knife all the time. It is their Vantage Pro. It's a liner lock, it's got a flipper, it's S30V. Now, you used to be able to get this for $45. Like 5-6 years ago, you could get this for $45. And it was a steal at that price. Now the price of that knife has crept up over the past 5-6 years. The current Blade HQ price is $75. The regular price on Amazon is hovering around $70 for now, but just a week ago, the 1 or 2 stores that even had it for $70, they had temporarily sold out. It went on back order. The next lowest price was $85 on Amazon. So, from $45 up to as much as $85, that's really very significant price increase. I think the price has gone back down to $70 for the time being. I will include a link if you want to pick one up. It's a pretty good knife, but I can't recommend it as strongly now because when it was $45, it was like almost a must buy. But as the price creeps up more and more, my recommendation gets less and less fervent because there's more competition, other stuff you could buy for those prices. Right? So that price creep, that's another thing that's hurting Buck. It's actually hurting a lot of companies. Leatherman has had price creep. Condor their prices have gone up. I remember when my Condor Hudson Bay was a $25 knife, and I've seen that go up and down to as much as 45, 60 sometimes. I think it might have gone back down a little, but yeah, price creep is another reason that people are sore at Buck. So can Buck recover from these issues? I definitely hope so. I'm always rooting for U.S. companies to make a comeback. You know, I'm definitely not against Buck. I want them to make a comeback so I can do positive, feel-good reviews that are also truthful. But they're not going to change if nobody points out the problems. So I'm trying to help them. Now, am I going to return that knife? No, I'm not going to return it. Now, the reason that I'm not going to just return that knife is because the reasons that I did buy it are still valid. It has upgraded steel, it's got the micarta, it's slimmer, it's lighter, it has a clip and a thumb stud. So the 6 reasons that I bought it are still true, but I'm definitely not jumping for joy at the issues with the rivets, the issues with the centering, the change in the blade shape, the fit and finish issues. Those certainly don't make me happy, and a lot of people probably would return it or will return theirs. So, you know, I'm going to keep it as a beater, just, you know, as a user. I'm going to keep mine, but a lot of people won't. And yeah, I really hope that Buck will address these issues and improve. Switching gears, we've got some Kaiser knives in the house. Now those two over there, that's from their Tangram series. The Tangram series from Kaiser is their budget line. The most Tangram knives are between $25 to $40. Right? Now that's called the Rumble. It's designed by Kim Ning. I will include Amazon links to the Tangram series knives. Like I said, all budget friendly. That's the most common request from people. They want budget stuff, budget folders. And full reviews of all these are coming up. This is not the review. This is, oh, my light. This is just a preview. And let's do a little close-up look at all of these. All right, it's got a flipper. Look at that grind. Nice, stonewash, liner lock. Yeah, recurve. Yeah, full review of this upcoming. And now these two knives right here, both titanium frame locks, both S35 VN steel. The larger one, that is the Theta, designed by Elijah Isham. And the other one is, it's the Feist, designed by Justin Lundquist. Here's a closer look at the Theta. Hopefully you can see that. I had to mess around with the exposure because look at all the facets on this. Each time one of the facets catches the light, it would blind the camera. So I hope you can see this. At the frame lock side. It's a futuristic angular design. Anybody else grow up in the 80s? You watch the Transformers and Decepticons? Kind of reminds me of that. Note the flipper points upward. Is this an opening hole or just some styling? All right, let's try the flipper. I'm going to do this right-handed. Hold on. There we go. And as you can see right there, S35 VN. Well, I gotta say, that is a wickedly beautiful looking blade shape. I can't wait to do a full review of that, so stay tuned. That S35 VN should be good. Now this is a beautiful knife, right? They're calling it the Feist. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, it's titanium. Note the ornamental holes, or is it for lightness? Probably both, but reminds you of Mayo. Remember that, the knife maker? But it also reminds me of Japanese styling, just the whole knife, how simple and clean it is. You see the texture here. To open it, well, there's the lock bar. To open it, you basically press that. Hold on. Yeah, I did that really badly. That needs some practice. I've had a few knives that were kind of like that, but hold on. There you go. Look at the blade shape. That's a beautiful knife. But yeah, that's I would say it's a very light and clean design. Now, is it just me, or doesn't that look kind of like Japanese styling? Maybe it's just me. But interesting blade shape. Would be good in the draw cut, no doubt. But yeah, I can't wait to review that as well. There's only one store on Amazon currently that has these because I guess they're new. Right, so I will include a link, but I can't vouch for the price because once more stores get them, prices tend to become more and more reasonable. All right, so this has been Knife Vlog. If you enjoy the knife discussions and commentary, check out the Amazon links. Man, I hear the snowplows are going crazy. I hear the backup siren that we have on the snowplows here. Yeah, well, stay warm, everybody. Check out the Amazon links. They do support the channel. Stay tuned for the next episode. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.